Okay, no problem.
Right. So welcome back, everyone. For those who were watching the stream before, that one crashed. So I've had to restart it. But I'm joining with Tobago as we try yet again to discuss. Well, when I look at the title, it feels like it's clickbait, but I don't mean it as clickbait because I'm saying if it's a question, it's a shouting question. Would Enzo Maresca leave Chelsea for Man City as Pep's successor? Of course, that'll be next summer if Pep Guardiola decides to leave. There's a possibility he doesn't. How are you doing, Tobago? Thank you for tuning in. And what do you think about this links and, of course, the news that Maresca is reportedly unhappy with the owners and the sporting directors?
Yeah, all I can say, everything now makes sense. Why Enzo Maresca is fuming, is changing agent, and now the links of Manchester City. So clearly something's happening behind the scenes. But again, it's just linked to Manchester City job, and also what we can say is that it's just been linked to Manchester City. There's also several coaches that is linked to the job. Only if Pep Guardiola leaves. So as a Chelsea fan now at the moment, I hope Pep Guardiola doesn't leave Manchester so that we don't have a problem with the end of the season. Because as much as I like my football club, I don't know, I don't trust the sporting directors to make the right appointment. That's the issue I'm having at the moment.
Yeah, and that's a solid argument because we know that is the case. We know that the model. I have a lot of question marks about the model, the blueprints, the Blue Co project, building for the future, which it's a very good vision 2030 esque. So it's vision 2030, building towards the future, building for the future, but you are what's the saying? The saying says you cut off anyways, but you're spiting yourself basically because um if you just have young players, yeah, in terms of them struggling together, it could end up being a case where they get experience and they know each other, they have that bonding because they struggle together. But at the same time, we need somebody to lead. And we have a captain in Reece James who, as much as he's 26, I think, he's not necessarily experienced like that. He's most of his time at Chelsea has been injury ridden. So it's not like he brings a whole wealth of experience. He's won the Champions League, yes, but he's also very much a player that was injured significantly. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's enough experience to say that we have experience in the squad. Tosin was supposed to be an experienced head, but the experience that he has is at a team struggling and getting relegated. So I don't know what kind of experience that was either. Premier League experience should not just be about you play in the Premier League. It should be about the fact that despite you playing the Premier League, you were standing out against a team that got relegated, like a Dean Housen, for example, who was in a relegation scrap and then he was there and they stayed up. Or you have other options, but I don't know. The project is all over the place. In all honesty, it's confusing for sure.
Also, I remember, right, I was making the same argument. They said, remember Vincent Company at Bingley
Mhm.
in the championship, he was like doing very, very well. Bingley, eventually they got promoted, automatic promotion, they won the
Mhm.
league, and he went to the Premier League. Yes, the Premier League, with that squad, he couldn't survive the Premier League, got relegated, and he was linked to Chelsea and Bayern and everything. I've told them if this guy goes to Bayern, Bayern will be a different team. And then the third I was laughing, oh, he's a championship manager, blah, blah, blah. That's the thing they used to say, right? And he went to Bayern. Look at Bayern right now. If the same manager, he's cooking, man, because they already have top world class players at the moment. That's why his job is so simple. Just like, for example, Zidane just went from nowhere, went to Real Madrid and win 3 Champions League in a row. Can you imagine that? Because he was coaching world class players. The job for him was so simple. At Chelsea, my only biggest concern, right, is that we develop players right now, right? And after 2 years, we sell them to another club, we make profit, and we restart again, we buy potential again. That's the main issue at the moment in Chelsea. We are not upgrading to the older squad. For example, right, Nicholas Jackson, we all complained about him last season, and we should have
Mhm.
upgraded. Iketika was there, Osimhen was there, those kind of things. We went to Lem Delep. I don't hate Lem Delep, but I felt like he was not ready to be in a main man at Chelsea. Look at now, man, at Chelsea still struggling. That's the issue we're having at the moment. So I don't know where we go with this project, but it looks like we're going to have a roller coaster season in the next season if Enzo Maresca leave, because I think he's the only one that is saving us at the moment, trying all means to not expose us. The team is playing very well, haven't lost anything, power in the dressing room, which is good. But the fans are divided at the moment. Some wanting in, some want him out. But again, after this, it seems like most of the fans now want him in. I don't know, man.
You know, it it's like can it, you know it would be funny. I know I'm a wrestling fan, so I know about storylines. It would be funny if both Maresca and the owners are planning this as a way to reverse psychology out of people into backing him, supporting him, not wanting him to leave. So it's just, well, it's ironic because a lot of people are saying no, 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 no. Um, Maresca shouldn't leave, or I don't want him to leave. And the thing is, and you know my opinion, I've not been the biggest fan of Maresca. I was one of Maresca's biggest fans, and you know it because I did a whole manager analysis video, and to this day it is the most viewed video on my channel. So I have to love Maresca. I loved Maresca in the beginning, and when I did the analysis video, I said, "Oh, I love this tactics. It's very exciting." But my problem with him was the inconsistencies that he also had in terms of, you know, 1 minute he'd say, "Oh, no, 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 we're not good enough. The team is young." And then when you win the conference league, you're gonna say nobody believed in you. When you yourself was postulating that, "Oh, we don't put us in that conversation because this team has been with this manager for how long." So if you tell people this and they say, "Okay, you're right, this is the case," and then the season goes a certain way, then of course you can't blame them for quote unquote fighting against you. So that was my issue, the inconsistencies. I've always said it, and has always been me. I'm never going to blame a manager for players missing goals, because at the end of the day, he's not the one that controls their feet. It's not like he's playing a game, or a FIFA, EFC, FIFA Dream League, whatever it is. It's not like that's the case. It's actually those players that are placed in the situation and they miss. So I'm never going to blame him for that. What I will blame him for is not learning from his mistakes. And I even mentioned it in the video that I did earlier this week, that the only issue that I have with him is the fact that he's not learning sometimes, and how long it takes for him to learn. But he has learned a lot. The red card situation is a perfect example. Arsenal game was nothing like the Man United game. We didn't go straight into getting on a defender. He still found out a solution, reached James the midfield, all of that. So in terms of that, I've said it. Maresca is a good manager. His tactics have worked a lot against big managers as well. So you have to give him his flaws for that. But the inconsistencies is what I have had my concerns over, because I don't want you to be feeding the players that sort of narrative that, okay, don't believe in yourself, which fine, you can be saying that to them, to the media, and you're saying something different to them behind the scenes, but at the same time, if you can't be throwing the players under the bus. So that's my opinion. I don't know what you have to say about that. I'm going to get my charger. I may get disconnected when I plug in the laptop. So if I get disconnected today, we just keep talking.
Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem, bro. Yeah, man, I hear your own perspective in terms of Enzo Maresca situation. You don't like him because of certain things. I even said it, right? It's not perfect at the moment, and I can tell you right now, every coach has his own mistakes. Even Pep Guardiola against us in the Champions League final under Thomas Tuchel, he made one mistake, not playing Rodri as a DM, and really cost him that match. So overall, I'm saying that no coach is perfect, but again, I was only on board with Enzo Maresca at the time. I was looking to the list of managers that were linked to Chelsea. I didn't want McKenna. I didn't want Thomas Frank. I only wanted Enzo Maresca because of what I've seen at Leicester City. And as a Chelsea fan, I'm happy that we won two trophies under him already. So he deserved a fully backing from the sporting director, to be honest, after winning two trophies at Chelsea. Um, and then funny thing, right? After the Levi Corwell, he said it publicly that they want a new centre back, and then the staff did as much to brush it off and say that, oh no, no, it doesn't need a centre back. We're going to do everything internally. But again, internally at the moment, when Fofana was not available, we were horrible. So for me personally, I don't have agenda against any player. But again, if we need to improve, for me, in the January transfer window, if possible, I will sell both Tossen and Varishide and get Nico Nicholas Slatterback or Morello. That will fit to what Enzo Maresca is playing because we need to get players that are fit into the coach's system. It's very important. So this is what I will do. And now we do need to a midfielder again, but it's the summer. So what about this season, man? In general, for me personally, we still need a centre back, but again, we won't do that because we need to review Enzo Maresca, blah 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 blah. But again, if you review him, you will still talk to Manchester City. That's the issue at the moment. Is everything
Hmm.
fine now? So I don't know, man, how to feel about the situation. Hopefully, it's just the leagues, and then we start picking up crucial points in the Premier League. For example, we are playing on Saturday against Newcastle. It's going to be a tough feature because normally we don't win against Newcastle at their home stadium. So hopefully we change that on Saturday. And then it's a early kickoff as well. So
Hmm.
let's see, man. Let's see. But
Chelsea have
again, I want to ask you, go ahead and then I want to ask you something.
all right. Yeah, I was gonna say Chelsea have a mixed bag sort of form when it comes on to early kickoff. When they have early kickoffs, they tend to do good. It's what was it? Who said this? Sometimes good, maybe sometimes doo doo or poop. So of course it's going to be interesting what happens with that. But of course, these reports are not going to help things, man, because it always happens right before we have a game or days before we have the game, and I hate it. It's just the history of Chelsea. We say the history of the Tottenham, but it's the history of the Chelsea. I tweeted about it. We can never have normalcy at Chelsea. There's always something coming out when things seem to be going perfectly. Something has to come out to try to steer the ship and try to make the ship go off the sea and everything. So or off track. So it is just it's crazy, man.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask you, right? I don't know this one we don't want at the moment, but it's just a question, right? I know you're watching football, you're watching different teams and everything, and we've been analyzing coaches as well at the moment. So, if, for example, it's just an example or planning ahead for the future because we don't know what is going to happen at the summer, right? If Enzo Maresca right now would leave Chelsea to go to Manchester City or whoever club, I don't know which club, which coach do you think will fit your squad because I think that's very important. You just can't hire a coach for the sake of he's good at Crystal Palace, he's good at Panama, he's good at Manchester City. You need to get a coach that can fit to what we are trying to build in the moment. So, which coach do you have in mind?
This is a question that I hate because every time I think about it, I have no idea. And that's a lame response, but I have no idea because, and this is why, and I keep referencing the video that I did earlier in the week. But this is why I'm saying that I don't want Moscow to leave because the options. because it's not about who I want, because who I would want to replace Maresca, I don't even think that's realistic, and even then I have reservations on them now, because I don't see them coming to the club with this blueprint or this project timeline and all that, because it's like, I think, was it Nagelsmann or was it Flick? I don't remember who it was that said that it's not a project for football, or was it Luis Enrique? I don't remember who it was. One of those options said that this is not a project for football. It's madness. So the only options I can think of is, and I don't even think I think it's too soon for that either. It's either the coach that is in the blue co ecosystem as your senior, or it's going to be one of the Bournemouth managers. It could be Ariola, or
You, you,
I
do you
generally
like
don't.
Oriola?
Honestly, I don't like his way of playing football. I don't like it, and it don't suit a lot of these players. We already have a lot of players who don't suit each other in the team. Can you imagine getting a manager who's going to be using these players who don't suit each other? Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's the problem's not the manager. He's made some parts of it be his problem, because he's made some decisions because he decides the team. But at the same time, the recruitment is also a big issue, because you're just signing players for the sake of signing players.
Yeah,
Gittings doesn't suit some of the players. So if you don't play Gittings with certain players, you're not getting the best of him, because Gittings is very raw. So if you play with a job Pedro, for example, you're not going to see the best of him. You need somebody that's going to help him, you know, drop deep or come wide, get the ball for him so he can run. We've not seen the best of Gittings. I think Gittings has been hard done by. Garnacho somewhat suits the teams better, but at the same time, he's also inconsistent. We know that from Man United. So I don't know.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. The problem is, if Maresca ends up leaving the club, Chelsea are going to struggle. And a lot of people are divided on that, because some people would be happy for him to leave. I wouldn't be happy if he leaves, because I know I've seen it before. Bringing in a new manager, with when one manager has drilled it into the players that they want to play this way, it's never going to just be smooth sailing. It's never happened. Never happened. Even he won the league after replacing, for example, Mourinho. Mourinho got sacked, and of course we had an interim manager, and then Conte came in after that. It it took months. It took months. It wasn't like we were just hitting the ground running. And of course we
yeah,
had who had won the league before. So I can even mention Pochettino. When after Pochettino was sacked, or well, he left, not sacked, because he left by mutual consent, they say. Um, it took money from Maresca's system and his tactics to really bed into the player's mind, because it would have still been first with Pochettino after a season. So the high line business, the running, all of that, and then it took gradual time, and then of course we saw the struggles of the season, because that was when Maresca's system was starting to really slowly get embedded into the player's mind. So it's not going to just be, oh, let's start this manager and or let this manager leave and get this manager and it's going to be perfect. No, because these players are inexperienced. A lot of these players are just coming to the Premier League, or some of them have been at a club where they've not competed for anything. So you can't expect them to just have the Premier League experience and then boom, or play in the Premier League and then they're going to just be able to win the league. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. So that is why I don't want Maresca to leave, because I don't trust these sporting directors or the owners to get anybody who can even understand a lot of these players. So that's just me. A lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people think that to get a good manager, it will show that Maresca was holding the team back, which I don't know. I don't agree with that. But I think there's some parts where he doesn't understand the players at times, misprofiling Angel Santos, for example, and all that. But that's what I think. I don't know. It's not good at all. The options are not looking good.
yeah. For me personally, I'm gonna say in terms of what we Bluco at the moment, right? Because remember, Bluco just hiring upcoming coaches, those kind of things. So I'm just working on that. As much as I like Liam Rossinia, I don't want him now. I don't think he's ready at the moment. But again, never say never, right? This is football. This is life. Just the same as Enzo Maresca. People will say Enzo Maresca will fail at Chelsea. where we wouldn't win the Club World Cup, those kind of things, right? And improve every people wrong. But the manager that I'm
Mhm.
thinking about at the moment, I would say Xavi Hernandez, because he plays that approaching football that will fit to what we're doing at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And then I would say if not Xavi Hernandez, man, maybe Fabregas is another coach that will do that. But again, I don't want those kind of guys anymore at Chelsea, mate. I just want ready-made winners. But again, it's so hard under this ownership. That's why I don't want to dream about Nagelsmann, because I really like that guy, man. I really like Julian Nagelsmann. So I don't know, Ty. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, for our sake, let's hope
Because I'm telling you, when I think about it,
everything.
it makes my head hurt.
Say again.
And I'm saying when I think about it, it makes my head hurt because I'm saying who if Maresca were to get sacked, or even if in a world where Maresca gets sacked, or if Maresca leaves,
Yeah,
who would they get that would really suit this squad, or a lot of these players would suit them? Because that's another thing that a lot of people don't think about. You every time you replace a manager, there's a possibility that a lot of the players don't suit his system, and then he's going to want his own players as well. And every manager wants their own players that they've brought in. Same thing has happened at Liverpool with Arne Slot. No, Arne Slot is struggling, but Liverpool can make a comeback. It's still early in the season, and also they have won the league already. So it's not like they don't know how to win the league, or some of those players don't know how to win the league. So they can. So that's the problem. When you keep replacing managers, you have that possibility where a lot of the players may not suit it. And I use the example: Tuchel wanted a Aubameyang. We got Graham Potter in. It didn't work out because Graham Potter didn't want Aubameyang. He came in and got Aubameyang. If Tuchel had stayed, who knows? Aubameyang probably would have
yeah,
done better because Aubameyang and Tuchel know each other. We know it's the butterfly effect. But sorry for cutting you. Go on.
yeah. That to be honest, didn't make sense. Buy all this as the coach and then sack him after those few games. Didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense, bro. That's the issue I'm having at the
Oh
moment.
my god.
I see Chelsea fans now celebrating. Oh, City. If Enzo Maresca go to Manchester City, oh my gosh, man. I don't know how would I feel. I don't know. Because even the time
So
Thomas
I'm
Tuchel
telling
was
you.
leaving Chelsea, hmm?
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
I'm saying even the time Enzo Maresca was leaving Chelsea, man, I was so upset because, man, I really liked him as a coach. So I don't know, man. And some other fans, one Glasner, do you like him?
So who?
Oliver Glasner.
Who? He's doing good for Crystal Palace, but I have PTSD. I have trauma. Graham Potter's doing all right. Well, to be fair to Glasner, he's done way better than Graham Potter was because he actually defeated Liverpool. Um,
Yeah.
it was it wasn't Liverpool. Not, it was no, it's not Liverpool. City, not Liverpool.
CG.
City in the FA Cup. Yeah, I'm mixing it up. Newcastle won against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. Crystal Palace won the,
Yeah.
the FA Cup. Yeah, so but I have PTSD. He's doing very good, and he is also in demand as well. So I like the way he plays, but I don't like it for Chelsea. That's just me. It could be it's all subjective because I just don't think it suit a lot of the players. But if you don't see it, you can't know. But he's doing good for Crystal Palace. But as I've said, not every manager who's doing good at one club that will translate over to another. The proof is in the pudding with Graham Potter.
Yeah, 100%. That's the issue. And also play three back three at the back. So I don't want that anymore, Chelsea. Man.
Hmm. Yeah. So it says two people are watching. I've seen no comments. I'm wondering if people are just listening. I wonder. I've been considering starting a podcast now because when I do streams, nobody actually comments. They just listen and then they'll say, I actually watched. I was actually listening to the entire show. So I think I'm going to start doing a podcast because it's better because people are watching, but they don't give their thoughts or anything. So it's interesting. But everybody, some people are shy, so I get it. But yeah, man. Just to share this again. So David Ornstein was the one that dropped the bomber. Um, Enzo Maresca high among candidates. Manchester City considering case Pep. I can't even read, man. Gosh, Pep Guardiola's exits next summer. Um, Hashtag MCFC advancing contingency work for possibility of manager change. 40-year-old CFC coach prominent alongside other potential options, which is important. Prominent alongside other potential options. Other potential options. So not just him. He's not the favorite. They didn't say he's a favorite. He's high on the list. I remember when it was between Maresca and McKenna, and we were hearing that McKenna is higher among the candidates. We didn't get McKenna, did we? We got Maresca.
Yeah,
So it's not. It
yeah.
doesn't
I
have to be
remember.
him, but of course, I'm sure Pep would recommend him. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, 100%, man. And then also he fits to the way Manchester City and the way they are playing, inverting fullback, those kind of things. So it fits very well.
Yeah. So
So,
it's proof in the
when
pudding,
I,
man. And he was there 2 years ago, or 3 years ago.
yeah, he was there
So he knows
three
this,
years
and he
ago.
was the development squad coach too. He was the development squad coach, so he has history with the club. So it's not like, oh, he was only the assistant. He was the development squad coach, and he went up to being the assistant because of how good he was doing. And they won the PL2, Manchester City development squad. So he's a part of the ecosystem. It's not like he's naive to it. It's not like with Arsenal, not Arsenal, Arteta. And I've seen people reply under this and under like absolute shows saying that, oh, look at this. City are choosing phase two Maresca instead of phase seven. Phase seven Arteta. Which is funny. But
Ah,
it's not seven
man,
though. It's not phase seven. He's only been there for what? 6 years, almost six and a half
50 years.
years, Arteta. So, yeah, so it's not actually it's 6 years, not 7, 6 years. It'll be 6 years now because he joined it this. I think it was this in early December or late November. He replaced Unai
It
Emery, and then
was,
I remember
yeah,
that
December.
infamous game. Yeah, I remember that infamous game when we played at Emirates Stadium and we won 2-1 or we won 1-2. I remember because remember it was on the 29th of December 2019. I'll never forget that day. I had tonsillitis, and when Tammy Abraham scored that goal in stoppage time, I couldn't shout. I was just because I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak because my voice was gone, and people was wondering if I was dying or if I was choking because I was just putting my hand up like yes, but I couldn't talk. But man,
Yeah, I mean, David
yeah.
Austin just dropped a bomb, man. This guy.
Look at the carefree Lewis. This is actually funny. Oh, Man City won Enzo Championship manager Maresca. And then somebody has to flip it like this. Isn't this a credit to the SDs for identifying his potential and taking the risk with him? Oh my days. What a very good rebuttal. Yeah. Let's come on, man. Few people are watching and there's only one like. Come on, man. At least get 3 likes. It's not difficult. One like and few people watching. Come on. That's disappointing. Wow. Yeah, man.
I don't
Boxing
know,
Day is
man. So,
next
anyway,
week.
what are your thoughts about the Newcastle game?
The Newcastle game. I ooh, coming into December. Big up to you, Jay. Go, Coming into December, I was expecting us to. I said we get. I said 11 out of 15 points. That's what I said. Of course, that's not possible now because we ended up losing to Leeds. But I said that we would draw against Newcastle. As you said, we've had a hard time winning at St James's Park. I'm trying to remember the last time we actually won there. Um, I don't know. I'm really trying to remember the last time. I'm wondering if it was it Tuku. I think it was on a Tuku when he won 3-0. Right before they got Eddie Howe. I think that's I don't remember. All right, the views is
Even
going up.
that
The watchers are going up now.
the last game, I remember Kai Havertz scored a last minute goal, a Georgina assist.
Oh yeah. I think wasn't that Tuchel? No. It wasn't Tuchel. It was I think it was it Tuchel or was it Pot?
Yeah, it
It
was
did. I'm
Tuchel.
telling you, that was like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it was Tuchel, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Was Tommy T.
I'm looking up it last time Chelsea won at St James Park. Let me see. Yeah, 2021. Oh my gosh, 4 years ago, the last time Chelsea beat Newcastle at St James Park was 2020. So it was Tuchel. Oh yes. Yeah, it's a game that I think it was. Yeah, it was that game. When I think it was when James when they say
Yeah, scored two goals.
Saint Reese James Park. Yeah. It was a 3-0 game. Yeah,
Yeah,
at
scored two
Saint James
goals,
Park. But the last time we beat
And
them.
Georgina scored a penalty, right?
Yeah. Before that, yeah,
Yeah, I remember that one as
two
well.
outside the box
Big up, Jay.
goals. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't want to mention this on the stream, but I'm wondering if I said it to you already that if I'm shadow banned, I don't understand what's going on. Anyways, but yeah, in terms of Newcastle game, I feel like we'll draw. We can win. I don't see much goals in it. I think the game could be decided by one goal if it's an edging. Newcastle are in good form as well, such as Chelsea. I think they won their game. Who did they play yesterday? Brentford? Was it Brent? No, not Brentford. City played Brentford. Who did Newcastle play yesterday? In the Carabao. I don't
Fulham,
remember.
Fulham.
Fulham, right? Fulham. So and that was a very. The game was very close. 2-1. Of course, Chelsea won 3-1 against Cardiff City. So both teams are going into it. Of course, having conceded goals. So in terms of and as Newcastle have been leaking goals as well. In the latter parts of the game, they leak a lot of goals. So if Chelsea can score in the second half, if the game is like at a 1-1 or a 0-0 still, they can edge it like a 1-0. But I'm saying the game could end a 1-1. Wouldn't surprise me if it's decided by one goal, as I said. But I don't know. Chelsea are not in the greatest sort of performance form. We're winning, so we're in good form, but the performances have not really been good. I have to be honest. I fell asleep watching the Cardiff game. It was so dull. That first half was dull. When I woke up, the final whistle blew. So the game was the game was very boring. And it was just down to the fact that Cardiff was so deep. They were defending, and they were defending well. We in all fairness, we scored due to mistakes. Because they were doing so good and they were really showing that they deserve to be top of League One as they tried to get back into the championship tier. So I don't know, man. But this is funny from Carefree Lewis, though. Oh gosh, it is. Um. Okay. Oh, you are here as well. As a Chelsea fan, I feel sick of this. To be we have sporting directors that are obsessed with kids. Okay, that kind of sounds creepy. If Enzo Maresca goes to City, he will dominate the Premier League. And then Chelsea Perspective says, "Don't worry, bro, it won't happen." So we can only hope. Look at Graham Potter. Yes.
The boys gave
Oh
everything.
my gosh. Yeah, the boys gave everything. I mean, I think his sports psychology degree what was really there. I feel like he was trying to keep the players happy, so he kept saying the boys give everything. Which I mean, don't be you can't be that nice. The boys did not give everything, because if they had given everything, some of them would have thrown their body on the line. That's what you call giving the boys give everything. Being so physical that they try to score a goal. Lots of those games, the boys did not give everything. The boys gave nothing, I would say. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. So, what is your lineup against Newcastle?
I think I have it. I had created it using our good brother's new website. I love the website. I have to be honest. I love the website. It's beautiful. I think they may have to revise it though, because apparently, not apparently, it said that Estival is gonna miss the game. Where is it? I have the picture here because I created
Oh,
it.
let me answer this call. Ne? I'm coming back.
All right, no problem. I think this is all right. Oh, I don't think it's this. It's not this one. Dang it! It's not that one. Where is it? I'm sure I have it here. Right. Okay. Damn. So this is what I would have gone with if if I hadn't. Well, of course, probably not Santos and Caicedo. I think it's what am I saying? Santos and Badiashile. No, this is not it. Um. All right. Well, okay. Nightbot, you're finally here. Thank you very much for blessing us with your presence. Um. All right. I can't find it, so I'm going to just use this instead. Hmm. I'm gonna have to share the screen and do it this way instead. I don't know, man. What I like the fact that people are actually here tuning in, but I don't know. It's kind of odd that nobody's commenting. It's strange. I don't understand what's going on. I'm generally confused. I don't understand what's going on. So it says people are watching, but I don't see anybody commenting. Nobody's giving their thoughts, and this is a topic that I'd like to think people would have something to say. Surely somebody would else would have something to say. Big up to G, as I said before. I have to change this, but these players are not even at the club. So of course, considering what we saw, I think Joao Pedro is going to be starting there. Wow, Marcos Alonso, I wish. Um, hmm, who could start here? I'm gonna say Neto. Um, Cole Palmer on the left hand side, probably Garnacho is going to start. I think Garnacho will start over Gittins. Oh, crap, that didn't save. Why is he not saving? What's going on here? Garnacho. Perfect. Why is this thing changed back to Marcos Alonso? Marcos Alonso left Chelsea a long time ago. Oh, gosh. C. Palmer. So Cole Palmer. Who else is this? Aspilicueta. Missed that. I missed the Mr. Consistent 7 out of 10 player. Enzo Fernandez and the Moises. Well, actually, I think probably this should probably switch over. Uh, Reece James. I mean, Reece James could end up starting. Gusto could also start, but I think Reece James was rested for a reason. So it'd be Wesley Fofana, and who started against Cardiff? trying to remember who started against Cardiff. Um, and for the two people watching, if you're a Chelsea fan, please let me know what your starting 11 would be for the Newcastle game on Saturday with the early kickoff. Um, I'm just trying to see who started. Okay, so it was the lineups. I'm not seeing the lineup. What is this nonsense? What? Okay, so Badiashile was unused. Wait, no, Badiashile started. So I think he with Cholaba. I think Trevor Cholaba. I did not mean to do that. So Trevor Cholaba, uh, and then we have Kukuleya who got arrested. Mhm. That's supposed to be that. And then Robert Sanchez in goal. So this is who I would start against Newcastle. Let me download this lineup so I can share it better here. Thank few people are watching. Still only one like. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's delayed on my end, but I'm seeing only one like and there's 3 people watching. So please drop a like if you haven't already. It really helps me. Been struggling recently with a lot of things that I have not publicized. But if you can drop a like, if you can share the stream, please do so. But this is my starting 11 for the game against Newcastle. So okay, let me I have to change this up slightly. Okay. Right, my screen is completely frozen now. I need to change this. I need to probably just put Caicedo so that the names are not so covered by the other one. So Caicedo and So E Fernandez. Okay, cool. Okay, sure. If you decide to do so, fair enough. But I would be surprised because what I've been seeing recently from Maresca is that in a lot of games we're seeing this sort of structure. Actually, we're seeing this where Fafana ends up being the one there, so it becomes a three, well, not a 3-3-3-1. That's not what I mean. It becomes a what do you call it? So sometimes it becomes this, which a lot of people would. This is probably unpopular. Some people may say that they don't see this, but this is what I end up seeing. So sometimes it's like this, and then well against the likes of Everton, we saw this where I don't think Garnacho was the one that started, but just for example's sake, we saw this at certain points, and then of course the whole thing with the third man runner. I should say I don't know what's going on with me today. I can't speak properly. um, but yeah, this is what I typically see. So Reece James still inverting into that midfield for Farnock becoming that wide option. Why is he saying Cahill is in goal? I don't like this website. I said I put Sanchez here. Why are you giving back you giving back Cahill there? But that's disgraceful. But anyways, so you'd see this, so 3 at the back sometimes, and then of course we know that the structure goes back to the 4-2-3-1. Let me fix this back properly. So 2 4-2-3-1. So that is what I typically think of. Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't know what's going on here. I'm really confused. It says 3 people are watching, but at least one person from the 3 watching. Can you really let me know your thoughts, please? Let me know your thoughts, please. Who would you start? What do you think will happen in a match? I don't think I'm gonna get to do a preview tomorrow, so let me know what you think. Would you start the players who I started? Who I would start? Would you not? Let me know. I'd love to hear from anybody right now about who you would start, just so that we can have a conversation, because I think we've discussed everything. For people watching, let me know, do you agree with this lineup? Yeah, I can understand that. I've just sent a link to you, to Diego. Um, all right, let me stop sharing this because I can't see my screen properly. I know you guys are able to see me, but I can't see my screen. But this is my lineup. This is who I would. This is the lineup I would use as well. But I think Gusto could start, and yeah, so it could be that. Do you think Trevor would be physical enough for Voltemade? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Voltemade. I don't even know how his name is pronounced. Do I think he would? Um, I hope he is, but I generally don't know. But we don't have any. We don't have much options in all honesty. Would we start Body Shield? I don't think Body Shield has started back-to-back games since we coming back from injury. So that's why I think, and considering the fact that Tosin and Body Shield started against Cardiff, I don't know. I don't know. Chalaba has that bozo gene, but you're back to Bego. I know you said that this is your lineup, barring of course Gusto being added. But so who would Gusto come in for in your opinion?
I see Gusto coming in for Canacho might not play, Neto on the left, Palma on the right, number 10 Enzo Fernandez, and then Gusto right back, Rhys James DM with Caicedo.
Okay, interesting. Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So let me see if I can share this again, and then so we can give people. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think we have to also consider which side is the strongest side as well. SK, the strongest side for them, because I think you can play Neto on the left or the right. I think Neto. That's one thing about Neto that I really love. He's able to drop deep and try to do defensive work. That's what you don't get with Estival, who's of course very young. So let me see if I understand what you're saying. So you think it would be Neto on the left? So instead of Garnacho, you think it would be Parma on the right, and then this would be. Oh, let me just change this then. I'll just put the. So not Caicedo. Let me just put Gusto, and then just swap this. So you're saying it would be something like this, Diego?
Ganacho, play Enzo Fernandez and Ganacho.
Oh right, I didn't put I didn't change the name to Fernandez. Can you imagine Garnacho as the 10? Oh god.
Yeah, we might see something like
Oh
this.
god. Yeah, that'd be funny. But yeah. Finally some interaction in the chat. Thank God. SK, you're the saving grace. So what do you think about what SK says here to Diego? Do you think Trevor would be physical enough for him?
Yeah, I think Trevor Chalaban and Fofana will handle Walter Mara, so I'm not worried as much as I like Walter Mara.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. So yeah, let me download this one. So this is year one. I'm gonna download this. I don't know, man. So all right, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna stop sharing this. Okay, so this is my lineup. This is yours. Cancel that. That's not what I want to do. I'm still trying to navigate this new thing without restrictions. It's kind of weird. Okay. So this is year one. I feel like I should have used the Chelsea Perspective website because you'd have had the pictures of the players, but I don't have access to that email. Anyways, so what do you think? What would you expect for that match for the Newcastle game? You said it would be an early kickoff. What would be your score prediction on things like that?
Chelsea to win 2-1, man.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds realistic. Sounds realistic. I don't see us keeping that clean sheet, sadly. And that's not down to anything, but I think Newcastle know how to score goals. And they've been a kryptonite to us. I remember one game, for example, when Silva, the experienced Silva, I think he gave the ball away, and it was just clear on goal. I don't remember who. I think it was Joe Linton a few years ago. Big up to you, TCFC. It's been a while, man. I haven't seen you in so long. Big up. I haven't seen it's been almost a year. Hope you will. But yeah, Newcastle. I don't know, man. We beaten them at Stamford Bridge. I know that for a fact because I know that we had beaten them last year, and then a few days later they beat us in the Carabao Cup. Can never forget that. So I don't know. We beat them at Stamford Bridge, but we can't beat them at their home ground. Yeah, I agree with you as well, SK. They leave the central zones empty because if they use a Joe Linton, for example, just for example's sake, Joe Linton used to be a striker and he's like an attacking midfielder, but also a defensive midfielder a lot because he has the bulkiness to him. So we have to exploit that. So Enzo's gonna have to have a good game. Yeah. But I do agree with Tobago. I think this could be what he used. What Maresca ends up using. I don't know. Fernandez has had some iffy moments in the most recent games. It could be that he needs a rest. You think Cole Palmer is going to score TCFC? So, yeah, interesting. I'm happy that the interaction is finally coming in now. I was wondering what was going on. I was wondering if the chat was off because nobody was saying anything before. But I'm happy to know that at least you know somebody is responding. Russ, oh, I can't talk today. What's going on? Ramsdale is error prone. Why the coach is leaving? Well, you don't. Okay, well, no, the coach is. There's nothing to say. The coach is leaving. It's just a conversation because, of course, Man City are reportedly considering him on a list of potential replacements for Pep Guardiola should he leave in the summer. So it's going to be interesting. I know what the narrative Tobago. I'm still backing them to win the league. I think City will end up winning the league. I could be wrong, but it'll be very interesting if he leaves, and of course they win the league for his final season, and then the narrative is that the new manager has to come in, and then the pressure is going to be there for him to was it going to be a case of win the league? It'd be hilarious if Maresca leaves Chelsea, which I hope he doesn't. He goes to City, and then he ends up wins the league. That would actually be hilarious. Honestly, it'd be sad as a Chelsea fan, but also funny to see that he leaves and then he goes to win the league at City. What would a lot of the people that don't like Maresca think then? What would they say?
Bro, Enzo Maresca from Liam Deleb to Erling Haaland. That's an upgrade, bro.
Oh my gosh, he would feast. He'd feast. Like that Ronaldinho video where he's licking his lips. Like he'll be licking his lips just to say, "Oh yes, I have Haaland. Yeah, I'm winning everything. He's winning the quadruple next season. That happened, man. I'm telling you, it's always been a decade.
Yeah, I
Well,
hope
I
he
don't know.
doesn't leave.
Yeah, go on to Diego. I will just bring up the thing that about
I hope
Nuno
he doesn't
Mendes.
leave, man.
Yeah,
Maybe if he
we're just
leaves, he
gonna
goes
find
to
that.
Juventus, not Chelsea, not City. I mean,
If he
Juventus.
goes,
I'll
if he
say,
goes
okay, no
Real,
problem. So again,
I hope. I'm saying if he leaves, I'd prefer he goes to a different league. Please and thank you. Just go to a different league. I don't care. Go to Juventus. Go back to Italy. And he has something to prove in Italy because he did struggle when he was at Parma in Italy. He struggled. He got sacked after just months there. So if he goes back there, it'll be a massive, massive, massive thing After slightly failing in Serie A, going to Juventus, who need a new manager. Actually, they've been up and down this season. Um, but yeah, either no matter what Chelsea loses, no matter what, because it mean that they go back a few months. I think up to a year, because I don't see any of the options that Chelsea could go for hitting the ground running. Because if some of these players are just too inexperienced and too raw for them to just come in next season and boom, Chelsea win the league. I think Chelsea, if they get experience head in that midfield, because yes, we have the likes of Enzo Fernandez and like I said, but if you can get an experience in that midfield and the defense, maybe the goalkeeper is 50-50, especially when Jose Sanchez has been playing this season. Chelsea could win the league in the next 2 years. I think so. It's not impossible, but they have to play their cards right. And Maresca could do it if he continues to learn. If he doesn't learn from a lot of his mistakes, should he remain after the summer as well. I think we could win the league very soon, and it'd be very funny because 2027 to win the league in 2027 it will be exactly 10 years later. I don't know. We've been doing polling domestically. We've done well um in terms of in Europe, but not good domestically. We've not won the league in almost 10 years. This year is 8 years. Next year, because realistically, I don't see us winning the league next year, 2026. That is. So it's going to be 9 years. We haven't won a Carabao Cup since 2015. We haven't won the FA Cup since 2018. So we've not done well domestically. We've gone to
Yeah,
finals of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but we haven't won it. So we've done poorly domestically.
yeah. I hope we win the Champions League, and then I just want to see what will the sporting directors do, or the owners will do. Will they try to keep Enzo Maresca,
Mhm.
or they'll do something silly? Because I don't trust them. But like we said, I think Chelsea are capable to win the cup than the league at the moment because of our squad. And we know cup games
Mm.
are just building momentum. But in terms of league, man, it's a marathon. You need quality players left and right. And at the moment, I think our first team are doing fine. But in terms of replacement, we also last night, most of them were horrible. So that's the issue at the moment. That's why you're not consistent in the league. So but let's see,
Mm.
man. Man, after reading what Fabrizio Romano said, this now it makes all sense now. Oh my gosh, Pep
Let's
Guardiola,
see.
don't you dare, Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, look at this. It says when Pep leaves, he will be involved internally to suggest next best man for Manchester City coach. Appreciation internally has always been there for Maresca. Man City sporting director is Portuguese, and Maresca decided to change agent to Portuguese super agent Jorge Mendes. So we have these two elements. But I can say at the moment it shows you're not looking to get rid of Maresca at all and are focused on the season. Maresca is under contract and it would require really important compensation in any case. So Chelsea would lose a good manager, but they would also gain some compensation. But the
Yeah,
compensation tangible is not going to be compensation for the untangible part, which is losing a manager and then having these players to adapt to a new manager. I know a lot of people think that it's football. It's not um like a Sunday league where you have to change manager and it takes a long time, but it's not easy. A lot of these players are very inexperienced. They're still vulnerable, so they can easily be manipulated as well. So it's gonna take time. It's gonna take months, I think, up to a year for a lot of these players to really betting on a new manager. And some of them haven't even found their best feet under Maresca. And it's been 6 months. So that's to tell you that it's gonna take a long time. If it's Maresca, whose I think system is more straightforward than any manager you could replace him with or have to replace him with. So I don't know. It's not gonna be easy at all. As I said, I'm really
Lemurusina.
hoping that he stays price, man. Yeah, I mean that's true. But SK is funny. He says last time Chelsea won a prem, I couldn't drive. Oh my
Ah,
gosh! Wow. Yeah. The last time Chelsea won the Premier League, I was just going to start high school. That shows that shows you how long ago that was. It's funny, man. But yeah, it's what it is, man. 1 hour now. Been streaming. I don't think there's anything else. Nobody is really interacting. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I do have some videos that I would love to see get some more views. Did a video on Shimueka, John Terry, little on his player career, not his personal and player career, because a lot of people people know what he did personally. There are lots of controversy around his name. I'm focused only on what he did as a player, because what he does in his personal life is not really what matters to me. It's what he did on the pitch. So, um, yeah, and of course, Kim Hilberg, one of the best videos I've ever done, according to a lot of people in the comments. So yeah, anything else you want to say to Bigo? If not, I'll just run off because there's nothing else
no,
to
no,
really
I'm all
discuss.
good. Thanks for having me, bro. I'm glad we talked about this, and hopefully the next stream that we talk about coach Enzo Maresca will still be here. But again, also I'm glad this came out right. I just want to see how the owners will react. For example, if Enzo Maresca win a major trophy and secure the top four, and what will they do? Will
Mm.
they back him? Will they give him an improvement contract? Because remember, at the moment, I don't think he's one of the top earners in the Premier League. He's just earning a little less. So, will they improve his contract? Will they back him in terms of players that he wants? We'll wait and see.
Hmm. Yeah, as coach would say, it remains to be seen. So
Yep,
um, yeah, hopefully, hopefully he gets back, but you never know. All right. That being said,
update
um,
chance
I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, up the shows and hopefully to get the W on, I almost said tomorrow, on Saturday.
on Saturday. Yeah, man. Cheers, bro.